One of our viewers wrote in and said, I recently had a sexual encounter with a new man. I know we really like each other and we've seen each other twice now. Something I repeatedly fear as a woman is that a man will disappear after I have intercourse with him. So I haven't slept with him yet. I feel like I'm being controlling. I've also been not contacting him, waiting for him to contact me. Can you help set me straight? I feel like I'm stuck in an old paradigm and I can't get out. Thank you. This is Reid from ReidAboutSex.com.
Cathy from theintimacydojo.com. And another fabulous comment sent in by a listener, a viewer, a fan, or somebody who's just curious about how we'd answer this.
It's a great question, though.
Yeah, it is. What's your answer?
Well, it's really easy to fall back in that because it's vulnerable to reach out. It's vulnerable to ask. And we're also taught, there's a lot of societal stuff about women are supposed to be receiving the requests. Mm-hmm. But I did that for a while and it wasn't very fun. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a lot of power and I wasn't being self-expressed. I wasn't asking for what I wanted when I wanted it. Or giving my partner voice in what, that was like, it was a little manipulative, even though that'd been what I'd been taught. I'm not saying anyone's wrong to do it, just it's not the most powerful way to connect with someone. Whereas really tuning in, listening to your own body and your own mind, your heart, what do you want? Do you want to connect with this person? Sometimes when we give the other person all the control and we say, he has to call me or that she has to call me, we don't even know if we want them to call. We only want them to call because we've been waiting, whereas we don't know what we actually want. And being able to pick up the phone and say, hey, I was just thinking of you. Do you want to get coffee? Mm-hmm. People that are a good fit will usually be fine with that. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with taking it slow, especially in the beginning. But it's also really okay to reach out and even let them know, hey, I've had this old paradigm where I always waited for the guy to call or ask, and I'm afraid to sleep with them, even if I'm ready to sleep with them, because I'm afraid they'll run away. Mm-hmm.
How did you have a breakthrough in all that?
Part of it was just practice. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like overnight all of a sudden it was better. But I started reaching out more. I started asking, and when I saw that the world didn't end and the person didn't run away screaming, I mean, a few people just were like, oh my God. But then they knew they weren't a good fit for me because I don't want to be in a relationship with someone where I always have to wait for them, or where society gets to dictate how I interact with them.
I have nothing further to ask you on it. I think that's an excellent answer.
Do you have any suggestions on how she could start implementing this?
I don't know. Hire her for coaching or something like that. She seems to know what she's talking about. No, I mean, this basically culture's having its way with you. Mm-hmm. Culture hasn't recalibrated. It's all old paradigm stuff. And that doesn't make it feel any less vulnerable. Yeah. And welcome to intimacy and relationships and talking to people as clearly and as quickly as you can about what's either bothering you or making you anxious or having you feel awkward. Yeah. And those little baby steps in talking about those things, and it doesn't have to be huge processing, because you can just be like, yeah, I have this thing. I'm actually not up for processing it. I just wanted to share that with you so that it's out in the open. Mm-hmm. And then just keep on trucking. Yeah.
And remember that it's going to feel awkward and maybe scary or icky. And when you first do it, we don't have muscles for that if we haven't practiced it. And so it's okay for it to feel awkward. It's okay for it to feel really uncomfortable. Just be present with yourself and be gentle.
Embrace the awkward. In which case you might want to go to reidaboutsexcom, REID, aboutsex.com/awkward. And you can get a free download and video on how to embrace the awkward.
You can even share it with your new partner.
Aha! Do it together as an exercise. But thank you so much for the question. Yeah. And really, this part about that game of cat and mouse, that's not changing from a cultural perspective anytime soon. So just understand that that's what's going on and just sidestep that whole thing, because it actually doesn't work at all anymore, and it's the old advice isn't really working.
Yeah, it's playing the game, and if you hate being gamed, don't game other people.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you so much for your questions. Leave some comments, subscribe. We like you.